Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today we're going to wrap up the season by going through the playoffs. We're going to take a look at the league leaders, and we're going to do our arbitration and team free agent signings. And so it's been a very productive season, a lot of fun. We're going to try to be as efficient as possible today and get through this without, overlooking anything that might be important. And let's just start off by taking a look at the standings, and then we'll do the playoffs here. As you can see, Boston won yesterday. They finished one game up. We finished 3 games back, tied it up with Baltimore. I never thought we'd be this close. If I did think we were going to finish as strong as we did, maybe I would not have traded some of the players I did. So as the general manager of this team, I guess I feel like I blew it on some aspect, but I mean, we were 3 games under 500 just a month and a half ago, and almost 10 games back. So I never anticipated that we'd be in this position. Otherwise, I might have kept a couple of the players. But having said that, our pitching staff really came through down the stretch up until the last week and a half, where a lot of our starters, once we went to the 4-man rotation, I think really tanked it. So unfortunately, it just didn't work out that well. So we have Boston and Minnesota, who maybe made more trades in the past 2 years than I did. So surprisingly, they win the West, and I'm curious to see how they do in the playoffs. Interesting, if you take a look here, you'll see they both had strong batting averages, but low home run totals. And even really, the Minnesota's ERA was above the league average. So it'll be curious to see. Maybe Boston should win that series in a walk. In the National League, Houston, who had the highest win total of any team, wins the West, and I'll be curious to see. They have a great pitching staff, a rotation, so they're going to be tough to beat. But St. Louis had a .275 team batting average, and if you look at their team, Dave Winfield, Ted Simmons, Gary Templeton, all in the was 1-2-3 in batting average, and then Tom Hurley brought up toward the end, and he did really well as well. So that's going to be a tough team to beat, just in the sense of they can put a string of hits together. I just want to point out one more thing before we actually get to the playoffs, as we go back to the Detroit here. If you take a look at the finances here, Montreal finished with negative cash, as did Milwaukee, and that means both of those teams will not be able to sign free agents, nor will they be able to re-sign or go to arbitration with any players on their team. And so all of those players will go automatically to the free agent pool. And so that will be very interesting, because that's going to be Paul Molitor, that's going to be Andre Dawson, it's going to be Jim Gantner and Moose Haas, and David Palmer on Montreal. So there's going to be a pretty decent amount of available free agents, as long as they're not too expensive. Like, I would love to have Andre Dawson in right field for us if it's at the right price. So that'll be a surprise for the 1982 season. Okay, let's get to the playoffs real quick, and then we'll get to the other wonderful things. All I'm going to do here is, you can see how the bracket is set up, and I'm just going to advance one day at a time until the playoffs are over. The World Series has been completed. So here we go. Day 1 of the playoffs. And the interesting thing also for the Red Sox is that they have 3 starting rotation pitchers that are not going to be available in the first round. So if the Red Sox can get to the second round, they will get Bob Ojeda back at least. So the Red Sox win Game 1 7-3 over the Twinkies, and the Cardinals win, close one, 1-0 over the Astros. I think Nolan Ryan is the starting pitcher for them. So Red Sox and Cardinals take an early 1-0 lead, and then there's the Red Sox going up 2-0 on the Twins. I guess that's predictable as they win 2-1. And then the Astros win game 2, 6-5. So there'll be an off day here. And then we're going to go ahead and advance to the road games for these teams. So the Red Sox lose to the Twins 8-3, and the Astros take the lead, winning 2 games in a row, winning game 3, 3-2. Okay, so now also keep in mind, this is the last season at Metropolitan Stadium for the Twins, as the Metrodome will open next year. So we'll have a new stadium to play in when the Tigers go to Minnesota. The series is tied at 2 as the Twins win the first 2 games at Minnesota. Game 4, 4-3. And the Astros have now won 3 in a row, winning game 4, 4-2. So this could be, let's see, we have one more game. So this could be the decider for the Astros going to the World Series. Let's find out. And the Astros do win, and they go to the World Series. Who are they going to face? The Red Sox are up 3-2 on the Twins, and they're heading back to Boston and Fenway Park. So we'll advance another day, and this will be a day off for the Red Sox Twinkies. And now, let's see if the Red Sox will meet the Astros. Here we go, game 6. And the Red Sox do win 6-1. It's going to be a Boston-Houston World Series. And I believe we have to advance one day. Let's take a look if it shows. It hasn't even moved yet. Before we do, let's take a look at the transactions and see what we have here. Well, we have all the titles. So you can see Jason Thompson. We're going to take a look at the leaders in depth. But JT did win the home run lead in the American League. And he hit a home run in the next to last game, the game after they finished up against Detroit. And he had 3 RBIs, and that was enough to give Jason Thompson the RBI lead over Alan Trammell. Paul Molitor finished the season on the injured list, but he did lead the American League in batting average, and he will be a free agent. Ricky Henderson did get 40 stolen bases, 32 of them on Detroit, 8 on Oakland, and that was good enough for him to lead the American League. Teddy Higuera, probably the Cy Young Award winner, maybe? I'm not sure. Floyd Bannister had 137 Ks. John Tudor had 15 wins. Maybe he's Cy Young. Goose led the AL in saves. And we had Griffey, Guerrero, and Lee Mazzilli, who had a career high 17 home runs. That led the National League. I would suffice to say that there might not even been a home run leader with 30 if we had played out the full season in either league. So Dave Winfield led the National League in batting average at 329. Guerrero led the NL in RBIs with 76. Kim Allen had 66 stolen bases, but keep in mind most of those were in the American League, and the game doesn't differentiate between the AL and the NL that way. So he would have led the American League regardless. Mario Soto led the NL in ERA with a 2.42. Nolan Ryan, 161 Ks. Surprise leader in wins with Rick Wise at 14 for the Padres. And the saves leader in the NL was Terry Forster of the Dodgers. Jim Wolford didn't even play in the playoffs, and he tore an ankle ligament and is out for 6 months. Also, I wanted to point out that the Cubs starting pitcher Lynn McLaughlin out for 16 months with a torn rotator cuff before the playoffs started. So, yeah, he'll be out all next season. We had some retirements. Rusty Staub, La Grande Orange, retires. Jim Bibby retires. Former Detroit Tiger finishing up his career as a Tiger. Brian Kingman, fractured eye bone in the offseason. Tony Perez retires age 39. He went to the Hall of Fame in real life. Kurt Bavacqua retires in 1981. Where would the 1984 World Series be without Kurt Bavacqua against Detroit, hitting 3 home runs in the World Series as a nobody, for the most part, a career journeyman anyway. Larry Bittner, I always hated getting his baseball cards as a kid. I always thought it was misspelled with 2 I's and 2 T's, but I guess it's not. Tim Hutton. The National League Championship Series MVP is former Minnesota Twin Danny Goodwin. Dan Schatzeder, traded to Oakland, did not even play 1 game for them this year. Gets a 4-year extension, so good job for Danny. And another injury. John Tudor gets the ALCS MVP. Mike Scott gets a 3-year extension. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up the World Series now, going to the playoffs. And World Series, let's see, Game 1 here should be coming up. I am curious if Boston has got Bob Ojeda back. No, 2 more days and Bob Ojeda will be available. But Eckersley, Boyd, and Danny Parks, who got injured on the last day of the season, his last start of the season, will not be available. Okay, let's do this. What are we doing here? Back to playoffs. Okay, advance another day. There we go. Whoa, the Astros, best record in baseball, win Game 1 against the Sox, 6-1. So they take an early lead. They're at home. Astros are the home team with the best record in baseball. Game 2, series is tied as the Red Sox win 1-0. So now we're going back to Fenway Park. We've got a day off. There we go. And now Game 3 of the World Series. The Astros take the lead. They won a slugfest, 10-7. As they're not a team that hits a lot of home runs. Now the Astros, I would like to show you this actually really quick. The Astros, look who's batting leadoff for them. Let's take a look at no DH here. Mike Schmidt. Michael Jack Schmidt is batting leadoff for the Astros. He only hit 12 home runs last season in an Astro uniform. And only hitting 20 before that in an injured season where he suffered some injuries. So, anyway, I thought that was interesting. That's their lineup, their everyday lineup. And there's their rotation, as they're missing a starting pitcher as well. But look at that. J.R. Richard, Nolan Ryan, Joaquin Andahar, and Joe Niekro. That is pretty damn good. All right, let's get back to the playoffs as we are at the 4th game at Fenway Park. Astros are up 2-1 in the series. Series is tied. Boston comes back and wins in the 10th inning, 4-3. Series is all tied, and Boston can get the home field advantage here. Here we go. 1 day. And the Red Sox do win. They are 1 game away from winning a World Series title. Very nice. So they win that game 7-6. We have an off day, so we'll advance 1 day. Will Boston get their first World Series since, when was it? 1918 or something like that? Let's find out. Here we go. Oh, the Astros come back and tie it with a 4-2 victory. And we go to Game 7. This is it. This is for all the marbles. It really should have come down to this. Here we go. Who will be the World Series winner in 1981? Here we go. Astros. They win the World Series, their first World Series title. Did they cheat? I don't know. But they do win 5-1 in Game 7. And that's going to do it for the World Series. Let's take a look at the transactions. And we left off with Mike Scott. Andy Raplogle gets injured, former Detroit Tiger closer. We sent to Montreal. He never even played 1 game for them, and yet he suffered an injury. That sounds like something a Tigers player would do. John Vukovic retired. Him and his mustache retired. Then we have Mike Schmidt got injured, and they still managed to win the World Series. Laren LeGros, former Detroit Tiger, And Boots Day, former Detroit Tiger. World Series MVP goes to Steve Macko, who in real life died in the middle of the season. He had leukemia, and it was like stage 4, and he unfortunately passed away very quickly. And he was on the Cubbies at the time, and he now every year they have a Steve Macko Day where they do donations and whatnot at Wrigley Field. So. Here's all the players that got a World Series ring. Was there any Detroit Tigers on this team? I think so, right? Didn't we make a couple trades with the Astros? As we shoot through the bottom. Yeah, Larry Pashnick, Detroit Tiger, gets a World Series ring. So that is going to do it for the season. Now we need to advance to the free agent period, where we have some decisions to make for Brookens, Leonard, and Gary Hancock. Let's do that right now. We're going to advance to the contracts, and first up is Gary Hancock, who we'll take a look at his scouting real quick. He was our team MVP in 1980, coming out of nowhere. He was a throw-in in that deal with Carlton Fisk for us, and he batted .301. He really seemed to struggle this year, but he ended up with a .282 batting average and a consistent on-base percentage of .314. Slugging dropped 100 points as he did not hit nearly as many home runs. He had 21 in total last year. So we don't need him. A great defensive player, untradeable because of his ratings, but we're going to have to let him go. We're not going to offer him anything. We're going to release him to the Wild, and let's see. Let him do that. Are we sure? Yep. Thanks for the memories, Gary Hancock. Probably the best laugh all season as Gary Hancock hit a home run off of Bob Babcock of the Rangers, and I said, "Don't cross the stream, boys." Then we have Jeffrey Leonard, who we need at this point. He is asking for more money than I want to give him, but he may and probably will be our everyday player. So we're going to lowball him. That's my style. We're going to say $80,000. If we add $80,000 to our payroll for one more year and get a year of everyday play out of him. He hit 3 home runs for us. Take a look. One very late in the season. Never could come up with a good nickname for him. J. Leo, I guess, was as good. He's known as Flaps Down. Whenever he hit a home run, he'd put his elbow into his ribs. Yeah, we'll offer him $80,000, and if we lose the arbitration, then that's the way it goes. We lost, son of a bitch. But so extra $30,000. Now this is a tough one because Brookens did not hit. He was not in the top 10 in fielding. He has a solid range. He has great range. But he can get to everything, and he just also can't pick it up. But he did have his best year, and really had his most stolen bases. We need him. We need a third baseman. Maybe we'll test the market. We do have Mickey Hatcher in AAA, who we traded for. And he sucked so bad. We're going to release him, though. We're going to let go of Tom Brookens. And maybe he'll be available on the market at a lesser rate. Bye, Tom. And that's going to do it. So here is who is all available in free agency. Holy shit. Doug Rao asking for $1.1 million. So as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of Milwaukee Brewers out there. Oh, I don't see Molitor. Maybe because he was going to arbitration, they just had to accept it. And he didn't get cut. Okay, so quickly, Alan Bannister asking for the most money. Third baseman, Buddy Bell. That's a lot of dough, but we need a third baseman. Mike Cubbage is out there, a very solid defensive third baseman. Omar Marino is available, and Andre Dawson, who can play center field. Wow, I would love to have Andre Dawson, and that's a good price. So he might be a target. We're not going to do this today. We're just looking. We're window shopping. We will come back in the 1982 season, and you'll have seen what has been accomplished. We'll do a recap when the 1982 year starts. Larry Herndon, future Detroit Tiger. That's too low of a rating. At the right price, he would be a nice fourth outfielder. Andre Thornton, slugger, will be available. Otto the Swatto, let go from Houston. Jerry Mumphrey, solid batting average for Houston as well. So look at the pitchers. Doug Rau. We'd love Doug Rau, but not at that price. We'd love Moose Haas, but not at that price. Bill Bonham is out there. Mike Paxton, number 5 starter for Cleveland. Jerry Koosman actually got cut by Minnesota at the end of the year. While elite closer Tippy Martinez is available. We really do need a real closer on our team. But Tippy's a left-hander. I don't like left-handed closers. Sparky Lyle's out there, but his ratings suck. John Hiller, former Detroit Tiger, hanging on. Bob McClure of the Angels released. Doug Bear, Sid Mungie, former Detroit Tiger closers in real life. Dick Pohl, insert your own joke here. Insert, no pun intended there. Kent Tekulve, and a bunch of schlubs. Some schlubbers at the bottom there. Okay, so that's going to do it there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the league leaders, and we'll wrap up this season, put a little bow on it, give it to a significant other. Let's take a look at the leaders. All right, we're going to do this somewhat quickly. As batting average leader, Paul Molitor. Great job by him. I thought he was a free agent, but I guess he accepted arbitration at $640,000 and will come back at the end of the season for the arbitration once again. Okay. Wade Boggs, in his second full season, both years, over 300. Trammell had a nice run at the end of the year. I think this guy could be the league MVP. I want to show you something real quick. Sortable stats. Here's the team WAR. I did this real quick. Unfortunately, we've already got rid of a couple players. But Alan Trammell had a 5.3 WAR, leading the team, and tied for the American League lead in WAR with Teddy Higuera. I'm just letting you know that. And the worst player on the team was Tom Brookens, who had a -1 WAR. And his replacement, Mickey Hatcher, was next, with Bryn Smith, Beckwith, Comstock, Hume, all in the negative numbers there. So, all right. So, George Brett, Odie Davis, all that, you get the picture. Home run leader was Jason Thompson, as I mentioned, hit a home run there in the next to last game for Boston, which got him also the RBI title from Trammell. Trammell had 18 home runs. You can see there. Hasse, maybe the other MVP choice in the American League. Kevin Mitchell, who I believe is only 19 years old. So he's got a bright future. Steve Lubertich came out of nowhere. Carl Pagel. Ricardo Saenz, also only 19 years old for the Mariners. A couple other there you can see. We'll do pictures here momentarily. At bat leader was Alan Trammell with 2 other Tigers on that list. Hitting doubles plays. Doubles. Wade Boggs, big lead. Had 37. Good job by him. Let's see. Grounding into double plays. Not Lance Parrish. Steve Garvey has as many double plays as he does children with 21. That's a lot of children. Let's see here. Extra base hits. John Harris comes out of nowhere and snags it from Ron Hasse. 46 extra base hits. Very impressive. Fielding average. We're going to check this out. Lance Parrish, terrible year defensively. 971 fielding percentage. That sucks. Ron Hasse led the league. First base. Our first baseman was Jason Thompson. He qualified. He was so bad after winning the Gold Glove that he did not even play first base for the Red Sox. It was Stapleton. Second base, Sweet Lou. Good job finishing 5th in fielding. Solid job by him. Third base, Joe LaFave with a 980. Again, Tommy Brookens didn't even register in the top 10. Shortstop, Alan Trammell. Terrible year. He did manage to make the top 10, finishing 8th. So that is something. Left field, Gibby, solid job defensively. Probably will be our DH next year, actually. If we, especially if we sign Andre Dawson, that would be sweet. Put Dawson in center, move Ricky to left where he belongs. Gibby will be the DH. Right field might be Jeffrey Leonard. So center field, there's Ricky Henderson. Actually, really great year defensively. I believe he had 9 outfield assists. Ron LaFleur leading the American League in fielding average in center field. Right field, Hoskin Powell, almost flawless in right field. And take a look at the other leaders. Gary Hancock not on that list? What? That's weird. Hit leaders, Alan Trammell just beat out Wade Boggs by 1 hit. 131 hits in a 110-game season. Great job. From Trammell, batting in the cleanup role, too. Hit by pitch. Trammell and Parrish made the list, but Dave Engel was the leader with only 5. Home runs, we've already looked at. Intentional walks, Wade Boggs had 5. Mark Wagner, who was a backup shortstop for us, had 3. You got to respect Mark Wagner and his slap hits. On base percentage, no Tigers on that list. Odie Davis for Texas, All-Star. And Mike Fishlips finished 2nd. That guy destroyed our team and had a grand slam to win the game against us. I'm kind of glad he did not get a World Series ring. Outfield assists, Ricky Henderson tied for the league lead with Dave Henderson, Clint Hurdle, and Freddie Lynn. Very, very good. Let's take a look here at OPS overall. Ron Hasse, maybe the best argument that he gets the MVP. I mean, a paltry 878 nowadays, if you're not over 1,000, you're not a good hitter. Trammell on the list, though. Good job by Tram. Great year by Trammell. He's our team MVP. We had voting yesterday on the on this page and also on the Baseball Mogul Facebook page. And Trammell got 30 votes. Rosema got 1. Gibby got 1. Plate appearances, I don't really care, but Carney Lansford for California led the AL. I don't care about range factor. RBIs. Alan Trammell, as I said, finishes runner-up to former teammate Jason Thompson, who only had 9 RBI, I believe, for Boston the whole time he was over there. And there's the rest of the leaders. Gary Renicky. California had 3 leaders on the board there, all bunched up. And, yeah, there you have it. Runners thrown out. Lance Parrish on the list, but Don Slott of the Royals with cheese had 34. Runners thrown out percentage. Lance Parrish had a 36% caught stealing percentage. That is a great job by Lance. He was terrible for a period of time there. And then he just started gunning everybody out. John Stearns finishes 2nd after coming over from the Metropolitans and playing for the Red Sox. All right, runs scored. Ricky Henderson led the American League. He's probably not going to be our leadoff guy next year. It's probably going to be Gibby. And Henderson, with his home run power that he showed this year, might bat 5th or 6th. Maybe 3rd. We'll see. We'll see what spring training does. Sacrifice hits? Oh, nope. Well, that should have been Brookens. I don't know why he's not showing on the leaderboard. After we got rid of him, and that negates him from that. Sack flies. No Tigers on that list. Steals. Here we go. Ricky Henderson edged out the guy that replaced him, Rusty McNeely, in Oakland. Trammell had a career-high 20 and made the top 10. Not a lot of stolen bases in the American League. Of course, Kim Allen went to the National League and led with 66. We've already seen that. Strikeouts. Who struck out the most in the American League? Dennis Worth and Carl Pagel for Cleveland had the most Ks from as a batter. Triples. Oh, strikeout percentage. Let's look at that. 5.9%. So 6 out of 100 times Marty Barrett struck out. Pretty good ratio there. Total bases. Oh, well, Alan Trammell led the American League in total bases with 204. Triples. Willie Randolph had 8, leading the American League. You see the rest of the leaders there. Walks. Ricky Henderson had 55, but Ken Phelps had 63 to lead the American League. JT with 53. All right. So that'll do it for batters. Let's take a look at pitching. Teddy Higuera led the American League in ERA. Dave Rozema was so close. He was down to 2.95 before that last 2-inning outing where he gave up 6 runs, and that was took him out of contention. Of course, the wins leader was John Tudor by 2. Probably the Cy Young. Let's take a look. Yeah, you can't ask for much more than that. Not really a strikeout pitcher. But he got the Red Sox to the World Series, at least. Let's go ahead and run through the pitching categories really quick. Complete games. Stephon Weaver. Dave Stieb had 9. That's impressive. I don't think any Tiger had more than 3. That's Rosie and Morris. Blah, blah, blah. Games pitched. Appearances. George Capizzello had 40, but Ernie Camacho, Macho Camacho, he had 49. So he was the closer for the A's. So good job by him. Who hit the most batters? Jim Palmer hit 7. Not a lot of beanball wars. That son of a bitch, Frank Tanana, hit 5. Home runs allowed. Who gave up the most home runs? Larry McCall of the Cleveland Indians and Dave Rozema gave up 18. There was not a lot of home runs hit this season, even in a strike-shortened season. So for McCall to give up 28, that's saying something. Fergie Jenkins gave up 24. Knuckleballer Tom Candiotti, although he did not have the knuckleball in his arsenal yet in this point of his career. Innings pitched, Dave Stieb led with 189. Teddy Higuera right behind him. I think Dave Roseman had 162. So he was the most on Detroit. Quality starts. Dave Roseman on the list with 16. Louisiana Lightning. Ron Guidry led with 20. El Presidente with Teddy Higuera and Paul Moscow of the Twins with 18. Quality start percentage, 87% for Ron Guidry. Let's see. We're almost done here, folks. Saves. American League, of course, was Goose with 24. Jim Kern. No Tigers. I believe Weaver had 9 for Detroit. And that was the most. We had bullpen by committee most of the season. Shutouts. Rosie and Jack Morris had 2. Danny Parks and Teddy Higuera had 4. Who would have thunk it? Strikeouts pitched. 137 from Floyd Bannister of the Mariners. John Matlack of the White Sox was second. Teddy, son of a bitch. Ron Guidry. Steve Busby. And the leaders were rounded out by Palmer, Hurst, and Ken Kravick of the White Sox. Strikeouts per 9, this is always laughable. Not even 7. Now, if you're not over 10, you're not even in the majors. Strikeout percentage, totals, walks. Walks per 9 inning. This is not whip, but it's how many walks they give up per 9 inning, and that is Dave Rozema with the best. Nicely done. Couple pitchers there below. We already know the wins leaders, winning percentage. Rosie and Jack Morris in there, and the leaders are John Tudor with that 15-5 record, and Weaver with a 12-4 record. So, okay, very cool. Man, is there anything else we need to see? I know that someone had asked for, I think it was James had asked for trades and how our Tigers did on other teams. I guess we can just, to be thorough and to put a proper bow on this, let's just do this real quick. Shotzi, we know, did not pitch. Rick Russell, what did he do? 20 starts, 5-13. We definitely made out in that deal, as they're stuck with him and his salary for a couple more seasons. Ed Putman, he did play pretty much every day for them. Batting .224. Probably be their catcher next year, even though they got Carlton Fisk on that team. We sent Bob Stanley to Montreal. He did pitch for them, not well, on that team for a couple more years at a crazy salary. Replogle did not make it. Omar Marino played really well. 15 doubles, 3 triples, batted .271. He was crushing it for Detroit, but we were never going to pay him. And he's a free agent asking for a ton of money. So for a player who doesn't even hit home runs. Larry Pashnick, we know he got a World Series ring, playing in only 2 games for the Astros. Milt Wilcox went to the Yankees, had 13 starts, went 6-3, just missed the playoffs. And good for him. He's going to be on their team for quite a while. So he'll get another chance to go to the World Series. Steve Kemp went to the Dodgers. Wow, he actually finished pretty strong. He was doing poorly the last time we checked in on him. Batted .281, had 5 homers, only 9 overall. He won't be missed, but that, he's got one more year after 82. And it was making pretty low money, so not too bad. Dave Stegman, we love Dave Stegman. He went to the Cubbies, played in 59 games, had 8 home runs, 7 stolen bases, a really solid defensive player. We miss him, but we ended up getting Tom Filer in that deal, and Tom Filer might be in our rotation next year. Wayne Gross, we dumped him on the Cubs. He only played in AAA, hitting 13 home runs, hitting .210. He was supposed to be our everyday third baseman. That was not a good deal. Finally, we have, what do we have here? JT, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, batted .178. More walks than strikeouts, but he was terrible. And he's going to be on that team until 1985. So he must have re-signed with them. Pat Underwood, on the Brew Crew, did not even pitch. He is in the major leagues, and did not play 1 game. So there you go. I mean, we have the transactions. We could go back and do all types and all teams. And we could look at all the, there's all the standing. Oh, well, yeah. Do we want to do it? Yeah, let's do it. Let's wrap it up. We won't look at the arbitration. That's a waste of time. I'm sure there are curious parties, but we're just going to scroll down real quick and get to the awards. Ron Hasse was the American League MVP over Alan Trammell. That's what he did. Pretty solid. Maybe overall the best hitter. Trammell definitely probably got some votes. Dave Winfield, National League MVP. He crushed it for the Cardinals, who fell short in the playoffs. Batted .329. Good job by him. Let's see who's next. Cy Young in the American League was John Tudor. Not a surprise, 15-5. Mario Soto, we'll take a look at his numbers. 13-4, led the National League in ERA. Good job by him. A lot of Ks. Opponents only batted 185 against him. Then we have the Gold Gloves. We have Stephon Weaver as a pitcher. Ron Hassey won the Gold Glove as a catcher. Eddie Murray at first for Baltimore. Sweet Lou gets his first Gold Glove. Wow. Finishing fourth in fielding percentage, but must have had a good range. Joe LaFave at third. Rance Mulliniks for the Royals at short. Ricky Henderson gets a Gold Glove in center field and probably will go to left field next year. Good job by Ricky. Dave Henderson in center field. And Richie Zisk. Hey, my first glove, my Little League glove was a Richie Zisk glove. And he gets a Gold Glove. I definitely did not get a Gold Glove. National League Gold Glove winners, Bob Welch, pitching position. Butch Weiniger for the Dodgers. Keith Hernandez, that makes sense. Jack Perconte, third Gold Glove for the Dodgers. Steve Ontiveros. Gary Templeton. Dave Winfield, that's 3. Cardinals. Rick Peters. Detroit Tiger Rick Peters that we got rid of? Oh, his numbers really went up. Whoa, he is a real player now. Oh, man, we might regret getting rid of that guy. Solid. All right. And then Chris Bergeau. And Rookie of the Year goes to Kevin Mitchell, who had the second most home runs in the American League. Congratulations to Kevin Mitchell. And in the National League, it was Tony Gwynn. That's nice. We like Tony Gwynn. Shared the same birthday as Tony Gwynn. And he batted .289 at age 21 with those 110 hits, 10 dongs, 11 stolen bases. That was the svelte Tony Gwynn. All right. Well, okay, that's going to do it. Good job. Thank you for following, everybody. I really enjoyed them up a little bit short. World Series winner was the Houston Astros. And we're going to come back with the 1982 season. The 2021 version of Baseball Mogul will be in play. And until then, everyone, have a great off season.